All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We're back again with another live. Really enjoying these live sessions with you guys. Get to interact with you guys. It's always exciting to see what you guys have to say, and it's always very exciting to talk about many different topics today. Interesting one, a bit away from, I suppose, the Chelsea ownership and all. No, I mean, obviously we're going to talk about that in other videos, but today really want to take the time to talk about what we witnessed last night. Tammy Abraham, in regards to Conference League, Declan Rice against Frankfurt. I've got a lot to talk about that, and I'm hoping you guys have a lot to say about that over both legs. I'm not just talking about yesterday because West Ham were down to 10 men. Creswell getting a red card, but even just across both the legs, honestly, I don't understand the hype around Declan Rice. Like, I don't know what I'm failing to see. I'm in massive need to see from you guys. We're going to talk about Tammy Abraham. We're going to talk about Declan Rice, and we're also going to talk about a particular journalist, goes by the name Adam Crafton, who works for The Athletic, has come up with an absolutely ridiculous statement. So we need to talk about that as well. It's going to be very interesting. But before we do all that, like always, I always want to shout you guys out. So we're going to do that. Take this opportunity to, get to shout you guys out. The regulars that are always here. I can already see Valen, thank you so much for joining, my man. Always appreciate you being on the live chat. Marvo, morning, Miz, love you, my man. Love you too. Honestly, do appreciate all the messages that you send me on Twitter in regards to news and whatnot. Really keeps me in touch. So thank you so much, my man. Gistek, good to see you. Jansen, good to see you. Valan is saying, I'd rather go for a massive push for Tchouaméni. Yes, Tchouaméni is probably someone who's worth it. Jansen is saying Rice has the English hype. That is it. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. For me, this hype is unwarranted. It really is. And I need to get to the bottom of this. I really do, because I don't know what I'm failing to see. I really don't know what I'm failing to see. I need you guys to help me out because, I'm not sure what's going on here. Donald, good to see you. Sold Abraham to buy Lukaku. Wow, this club. Look, we're obviously we're going to talk about Tammy Abraham and I don't want to sit here and do revisionism, because when we did let go of Tammy Abraham, it was well sort of thought out that he wasn't good enough, and that's why we went with Lukaku. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It hasn't worked out, so we're going to talk about that. Rice is overrated, Miz, 100%. Tammy is the Roman emperor. Declan Rice exposed as average, and Journo's upset they got exposed and can't lie anymore. 100%. You've pretty much summed up the stream that we're going to have, MG2801. Karthik, good to see you. Taka settings, absolutely Taka settings, my man. Enjoying my time over here. And I'm here for 3 more weeks until the end of the month. And then I shall be back in Sydney. Just like we spent 100 on Lukaku, yet Chelsea fans won another 100 on Rice. It's just mad. Honestly, it's mad, Gistek. It's like we have not learned our lesson. Big up Miz, my bro Miz from Moose. Justice, good to see you, Valan. It's mad how the Champions League final is like the winner gets Tchouaméni. Real Madrid and Liverpool, both of them are interested in Tchouaméni, aren't they? Tariq, good to see you. Big up Miz. Just to smash the like button. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, smash the like button as soon as you come through. We've got over 30 people live at the moment, so make sure you get those likes up. As we always in these live streams, we try and aim for 100 likes for the stream as we are live. And then anything after that is bonus. And for the past 2 streams, it's been 200 plus likes. So thank you so much. I cannot express enough how much these likes are directly correlated to the growth of this channel. So if you enjoyed this channel, smash the like button. That's all I am going to say. King Ing Joe, good to see you. Hello, Ms. Ambrose in the chat. Yes. Krishna Vedantam, good to see you. Hey, he does have a buyback clause, so it's not like he's gone forever. 100%. Yep. We'll talk about that. Shadow Rider 0550, guys, let's take the immediately to 100 for this stream. I'm waiting for you to say it, Miz. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. You knew what was coming, Shadow. Valan Miz, did you see the under-18 League Cup goal from Leo Castelline? Maybe him, Broja, and Kai don't trust the strikers market at all. Like, do you know what? I haven't watched that. Man, there's just so many things to watch, Valan, man. Honestly, it's just too difficult to keep in touch. Tag me if you're on socials, Valan, so I can see some of the clips, man. Honestly, that way I can keep in touch. Anmol, good to see you. Tammy is pretty shrewd deal from our part because of his buyback clause. It's like technically we sent him to Italy for development and playtime. Yes, perhaps. And look, yeah, it's a win-win situation. If he develops into a monster, if he develops his game, and from what I saw, and this is what we're going to talk about very soon, the header was a bullet header against Leicester. And one of my gripes on Tammy Abraham is the fact that he doesn't score enough header goals. And I'm not saying that now I'm all of a sudden, in the Tammy bandwagon. No. I just liked what I saw. That header was quality in between the defenders, and boom, technique was immense. I've never ever seen Tammy do that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that. Moose, wouldn't buy him for 60 milli. I believe you're talking about Declan Rice here. Krishna, Robin George, Miz, what's up? What's the time there? It is in Dhaka. It's 2:48 p.m. So almost 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So it's good time. It's actually very, very good time. Crazy guy, good to see you. Listen, Tammy's doing well, but in the game season, he's useless with anything above knee level. Didn't win one single aerial ball. Let's relax and study the player. Look, no, I get your concern, crazy guy. This has been one of my concerns as well, the aerial, but we're going to look at some stats. I was really impressed with the header goal that he scored against Leicester, which ended up becoming the winner. And he had a very good game. I saw the highlights. I didn't get to watch the entire match because I was watching the Frankfurt match versus West Ham. But saw the highlights, and Tammy Abraham looked all right. Do you know what I mean? So, against Leicester, Premier League opposition, not a bad opposition at all. So, it's good to see. It's good to see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with this show straight away. We are going to firstly look into the Tammy Abraham situation. Okay, we're going to see what is happening in social media, what people are talking about. So let's have a look at this one first. This is someone from social media and Twitter basically tweeting out. So we're just going to browse through what people are saying in regards to Tammy Abraham. We're going to look at his stats. We're going to look at his, the match against Leicester and what he was up to. And then we're going to have a discussion. We're going to see some of your comments, see how you feel, whether this player, could he still have a Chelsea career down the track? We'll talk about all of that. So basically, Tammy Abraham scored 15 Premier League goals at 22 years old, was deemed not good enough. So we spent 220 million on strikers who have all been worse than him. And we sell him for 34 million to see his value increase to 80 million just a year later. We are an interesting club. Look, I have to say, I have to be honest as well. I want to see what you guys have to say about this. For me, Tammy Abraham, Frank Lampard first season, yes, in the Championship, he was killing it. He was absolutely owning the Championship. I think that level, he's too good for that Championship level. He was killing it with Aston Villa. I believe before that, he was killing it with another club as well. So for me, Championship he's too good for that. In the Premier League under Frank Lampard, the first season, he was actually... He didn't start off well. Then he went on fire. He did well against Norwich. He did well against Wolves. I think he did it well against Southampton as well. And he was killing it until about when there was a bit of injury. I think, I remember he scored a clutch goal against Arsenal as well, which was key. And then he had an injury. And then obviously the pandemic situation took place and, football was locked off. After that, it was all Giroud. But there was a moment where Tammy was looking very, very good. But even throughout all of that, I have to admit, there were certain areas I just didn't like Tammy. Aerially, I felt like he needed to score a lot more. Someone like Reece James was whipping in crosses, and Tammy was always centimeters away from either a tap-in or a header goal. His headers were over the bar, or it was hitting the post or the bar itself, sometimes wide. And I felt like, that's not good enough for a player that is 6 foot plus. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes his link up wasn't in sync. His hold up wasn't always in sync. He wasn't always bullying defenders. But I have to say, this season in Serie A, he has developed some of those parts, especially his hold up, link up. He can still definitely work on it. He was still getting bullied earlier on in the season in the Serie A, but I think slowly but surely Mourinho is turning him into a beast where he is a lot more aggressive now with the defenders. And yeah, last night I got to see him score that beautiful header goal. So yeah, I guess we're in a situation now where let's see how he continues on this season. It hasn't been that bad. We're going to look at some stats very, very soon. But I'm really interested to see what he does next season as well. If he can really propel Roma to a top 4 finish. I don't know whether they can finish top 4 this season. I think they're a bit far away from that. But next season, maybe that's something that they can work on. I mean, the fact that his winner took them to the final of the Conference League, I mean, albeit Conference League, I get that, but it's still pretty, it's a good feat for Roma. And Jose Mourinho, you guys all saw, he was crying at the end of the match. Tammy Abraham has just broken a 94-year-old record, and he is now is the player to score the most ever goals in Roma debut season 25, which is incredible. Tammy Abraham's 25 goals this season for Roma are the most for any English player in all Europe's top 5 leagues. Oh, that's incredible. That actually is. Tammy Abraham's 25 goals this season for Roma are the most of any English player in all of Europe's top 5. That's sensational, honestly. Let's have a look at what else is going on. Live, Tammy Abraham, I've won last year the Champions League with Chelsea. Now I want to win the Conference League. I want to win trophy every year. Mourinho is so important for me. He simply loves Mourinho, man. And I think Mourinho loves Tammy Abraham as well. Tammy Abraham's bullet header to send Roma to Europa Conference League final. One thing he struggled with at Chelsea was his lack of aerial threat. He certainly improved on that this season with Roma. What's going on here? Let's have a look at this. If there's nothing coming up. Nope, there's nothing coming up there. Tammy Abraham listened and took Jose's instructions in without social media or long essays written to get sympathy from gullible fans. Look where he's at. I mean, I have to say there's some truth behind it. Okay, let's have a look at some of your comments in regards to Tammy Abraham. I really want to know how you feel about this situation. Is he someone that you would be keen to perhaps trigger the buyback? Maybe not this season, but I don't even know the clause around it when we can actually trigger the buyback. But is he someone who you would be interested to trigger the buyback maybe at the end of next season if he continues on in this particular frame? He usually doesn't score headers, yes, and that's been a bit of an issue for me. He'll improve. Hi, Miz. Tammy will always score goals. I guess the question is, can Tammy win us the league down the track? I mean, I think the next step for him would be is to take Roma to a top 4 finish. Take Roma to a Champions League. That's probably what my target would be for Tammy Abraham. Let's have a look at what Valan is saying here. I don't trust Serie A players coming to the Premier League. They tend to not be as good as we like. Besides Salah, Tammy would look good in Serie A. Even Lukaku looked like a monster at Inter. I mean, there's some really, really good players in the Serie A. I can't really sit here and say that all of them are going to be rubbish. I mean, who's Premier League got as well? Like, who are some of the strikers that are great in the Premier League? Besides probably your well-known ones, Harry Kane and Cristiano Ronaldo. Liverpool players, I don't deem them as strikers. I deem them as wingers. I know Thiago Alcantara recently said, "No, you're a striker," but I really deem them as wingers. Yeah, like who else is there in the Premier League? Strikers that really stand out. So we're so quick to have a go at Serie A. Like, have a look at the Premier League strikers. Do you know what I mean? They're not much better. If I'm being absolutely honest, I think we should bring striker from our academy and teach him our philosophy when we have it. Yeah, have we got the patience for it? That's the other question. I'm interested with Bowley coming in, how player purchase decisions will change. Something that we definitely need to look into. Yeah, Todd Bowley. I hope our decisions are not silly like it has been under the current regime. Let's be honest. Sometimes Marina has on bank the right decision. But on the striker market this season is dog. I'd rather we cash out on Werner and Lukaku, increase our wages budget, and use Kai Broja and potentially promote a youth player. 100%. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I guess, as I said, what is our patience level? This was the lineup, ladies and gentlemen. This was the Leicester lineup: Schmeichel, Justin, Evans, Fofana, Pereira, Madison, Tielemans. I mean, it was a decent lineup, and Tammy Abraham's bullet-header goal was the winner. So, look, we have to give him some praise. Undoubtedly, these are his stats for this season, and it's looking pretty good. I cannot lie one bit. Tammy Abraham in the Serie A, ladies and gentlemen, 34 games, 15 goals, 4 assists, 2,827 minutes played. Conference League, 12 matches, 9 goals. That's very, very good. Italy Cup, 2 matches, 1 goal, 1 assist. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, 49 games played, 25 goals, 5 assists. I think that's a very, very good season from Tammy Abraham, if I'm being absolutely honest. This is his stats from SofaScore, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, there are some decent ratings. Yes, there's some ratings less than 7s as well. Overall, his summary is 7.09, average SofaScore rating, which isn't too bad. Serie A, 7.03. Conference League, 7.17. World Cup qualifiers, UEFA, obviously doesn't get to play that much for England. And yeah, this is the Conference League heat map. I mean, look at him. He's a busy player. He's not someone who just stands in the center position. Like this map, and this is specifically for Conference League this season, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, he's everywhere. His work ethic is very, very strong. And that's something that you cannot deny one bit, and you cannot take away from him one bit. So I guess the question is, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to hear from you, does he deserve a lot more respect? Do we sometimes, I suppose, disrespect him at times? That's what I'm going to try and say. Haj, we need one of Ramos advisors to pay Alex Kohlberg a visit due to all the Rice prop. Oh, man. I mean, look, each to their own. He loves the Rice prop, and it's up to him. I'm not going to sit here and dictate how our fans should interact and what they should do. But I just don't understand completely all the propaganda on Rice, and we're going to talk about Declan Rice up next, so stay tuned for that. Haj Miz, you need to tell Ma to have a word with Alex about his Rice prop too. Ma knows. Princeton, nowadays there are no good strikers left in the Premier League apart from Kane. Absolutely agreed. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, you probably say he's up there as well. Robin George, patience and Chelsea fans sadly doesn't go hand in hand. Absolutely correct. Krishna, I think it's hard to compare Lukaku to Tammy. Both players, when in Serie A, had teams built around them. And realistically, I don't think if Tammy came back to Chelsea, it would be built around them. This is a very, very good point, Krishna. This seriously is something that we probably need to give a bit of thought to. I mean, shouldn't a team somewhat be designed to play around your striker? I mean, he's the guy that you're hoping to score 20, 25, 30 goals in order to win the league or in order to achieve something in the season. I mean, is it that much of a stretch to say a team shouldn't design their game on their striker's strength? Like, is it blasphemy to say this? I don't know. Like, I feel like, so what that Roma designs their game around Tammy Abraham? I think that's good, because he's the guy who's going to score goals for you. So if you can design a game that gets the best out of him and everyone else chips in with a goal and assist, what's bad about that? I mean, looking back for us, if we designed our game to suit Lukaku, I'm just argument's sake, I'm not advocating. You know what my stance is with Lukaku. I think he needs to go. But for argument's sake, if we were to design a game that suited Lukaku a lot more, and he banged in 20, 25 goals this season, and we were a lot more closer to Liverpool and City, would any of you guys be upset with that? I just want to ask you that. If Thomas Tuchel sat down and said, you know what? This season, we're gonna try and utilize Lukaku's strengths as much as we can. He's our talisman. We're going to chip in with all the other players. Everyone's going to be heroes. It's not like it's all a Lukaku show. No, but we know we've got a talisman. Let's go with it. I mean, if his goals propels us to the top echelons, I don't understand how that could be bad. But I want to see what you guys have to say. But once again, as I said, this isn't me advocating for Lukaku because we know what he's what he has done this season, the infamous interview and whatnot, his attitude, his efforts. I get that. I'm not advocating for him to start playing for us. I'm just saying, if you take away all of those other aspects, is it actually that bad to design a game more suited to your striker? I just want you guys to think about that before we go on to the next topic. Krishna, I think it's hard to compare Lukaku to Tammy. Both players were in Serie. Yep, we've read that. Let's have a look at Royston. Pep and Klopp doesn't build their team around a striker. They play as a team. I think Tuchel wants to do that. I mean, would you say Klopp doesn't build his team around his front three or even his front two? The third one is literally more of a false nine. Would you say that his game isn't really designed to get the best out of his front three? I think he does. I think he knows. I think Jurgen Klopp really knows that he's got some robust attacking potency and he tries to get the best out of them. Yes, Trent Alexander-Arnold is a special player. Yes, Robertson is a special player. But I'm not going to sit here and say he designs his game to the best of their ability. I don't think so. I think he still advises Trent Alexander-Arnold to whip in the early cross. He advises his defenders to try and find Salah as quickly as possible or Mane as quickly as possible. I still think Liverpool's game and Klopp's game is to get the best out of the front three. That's why they're pumping goals. Do you know what I mean? Pep, I suppose, is more of a team play. Yeah, I think Pep probably designs his game more to suit his midfielders. So I do understand that. But look, you don't necessarily have to emulate another person to be successful. There are different ways to play the game. Let's have a read at what you guys have to say. Preston, I know Chelsea fans are frustrated, but who we signed to replace him, we have to give Lukaku one more season, as most of the fans wanted to give Werner a chance. I mean, look, we're going to find it difficult to get rid of a whole lot of players. We did a stream a couple of days ago in here, and you guys were all here. It's not going to be easy to get rid of a whole set of players. Yes, we want to get rid of players, but it's crazy to think 8, 9, 10 players are going to leave. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. I do think yes, if Lukaku had a system around him, it would yield more results. But if you look at the best teams, they have systems and players that fit the system. Fair enough. This is a very valid point as well. But then I guess the question is, why did you go for a player like Lukaku? Why didn't you go for a player that more fits your system? You should have known Lukaku is a talisman kind of a player. I think we messed up over there big time. We need to ask some questions of Tuchel. I love the guy, but why buy Lukaku when you can't figure out a way to use him? What are we doing? I've always said this. And a lot of fans have given me a lot of heartaches about this. At times insulted me, abused me. I've questioned it. Like, why have you gone after a player like Lukaku, knowing he's not going to give you what you are looking for? So, or not even knowing his strengths and playing to his strengths. It's just all a bit mad. We'll take a final comment here before we go on to the Declan Rice situation, ladies and gentlemen. We've got over 80 people live right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get these likes up to well over 80 immediately. We've got 33 likes, as we've always said. Love to get 100 likes for the stream as we are here. And then after that, anything is bonus. So let's try and get to 100 likes ASAP if you're enjoying this. Waka is saying, it's baffling how we let Tammy and Tamori, oh my God. Do you know what? Tamori, we're going to regret that one. We're really going to regret that one. He's about to become Serie A champion. Like, I kid you not. Unless Inter Milan, they do something as well. But Tomori is about to become Scudetto champion. Do you understand how deep that is? I know a lot of people over here probably might not rate that league, but still, man, Scudetto champion, like Serie A champion, Tomori, one of the best defenders, if not the best. Like, it's mad. It's mad what we did there. Here's one. Yeah, he'll only get better and better, I suppose, from here on in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at the Declan Rice hype now, because I swear to you, I don't understand it. I need you guys to help me out on it. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm not going to sit here and say I watch every single one of West Ham games, but I've watched quite a few in recent times. I've definitely watched both the legs of Eintracht Frankfurt versus West Ham. I saw both the legs against Sevilla. Yeah, second leg, West Ham were good, and Declan Rice was pretty all right, but nothing that made me feel like, okay, you're 100 million or 100 and whatever million, 150 million. I have to say, focusing specifically against Frankfurt, some of the Frankfurt players looked a lot better. Sebastian Rode, like, I don't even know how old this guy is, but let me just bring this up. We're going to have a look at some of the stuff from social media very, very soon. But this was the lineup. This is the first leg. As you can see, Ben Johnson, Dawson, Zuma, Creswell, Souček, Rice, Bowen, Lanzini, Fornals, Antonio, and Eintracht Frankfurt had Sebastian Rode, Sal in the middle. Sebastian Rode and Sal, like, they looked so good. Kostic and Knaf, they looked really good as well. Torre, Hintenregger, Tuta. Hintenregger got injured yesterday. But these two, Sebastian Rode and So, for me, they looked a lot better than Declan Rice. I don't know what this hype is all about. So that was the first leg. This is the second leg, ladies and gentlemen. Declan Rice played more as a sole DM. He was more central in this particular game. I know they got that red card, and I know it's not wise to judge based on that, but still, Sebastian Rode, every time he got the ball, it was so nice to see exactly the vertical passes, line-breaking passes, simple passes. Same with So as well. Like, there were times Rice looked all right. There were some really good switches of play. There were some really good passes as well. But overall, I swear to you, I don't completely understand this whole hype on Declan Rice. He looked... West Ham, David Moyes says that he was worth 100 million last season. He's worth a lot more now. Why? Why is Declan Rice worth more than 100 million or even 100 million? Talk to me about that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, he's a leader. Okay, he's the captain of West Ham. But I seriously don't get what special attribute he brings to the game that warrants that level of hype and that level of money, monetary interest. Because for me, what I saw from Eintracht Frankfurt, their attacking play was at times better than Chelsea. The way Frankfurt was building up from the back, the way they were using their vertical passes, the way they were attacking, especially the wing-backs. If we had wing-backs like Kostic and Knaf as the secondary wing-backs after Chilwell and Reece James, I swear to you, we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in now. I'll tell you right now. When Chilwell got injured, if we had someone like Kostic coming in as a backup, I think we continue on as being the good team that we were. When Reece James got injured, if we had someone like Knaf coming in, I swear to you, he would trouble the opposition. This is what I've been saying in recent times, that you look at this team from Frankfurt, Sebastian Rode and Sal, they just did the stuff, simple things, very, very effectively. And I just don't know why Declan Rice, West Ham were dominated over the two legs. West Ham was seriously dominated over the two legs. For me, this is what I've been saying. I'm not saying we don't need that characteristic of a defender. We do. We need someone who's able to sit deep, be mobile, be very good defensively, have the ability to run laterally and cover ground. But at the same time, whenever there's an opportunity to bomb up, so be box to box at times, not always, discipline more to sit, but be ball playing, have the ability to spray passes from deep, but predominantly simple passes to control the midfield. You tell me, did West Ham for once, even in the first leg when they had 11 versus 11, did they ever control the match against Eintracht Frankfurt? No. And you can't sit here and tell me, West Ham players aren't as good as Frankfurt players. They're probably in the same level. Eintracht Frankfurt's are like 7th or 8th or 9th in the Bundesliga. So, guys, you tell me, what do you see in Declan Rice that warrants the hype and the 100 million price tag? Even if some people say, do you know what, Miz? He's not worth 100 million, but he's worth 80. Even 80. Tell me why he's worth 80. I'd rather go for someone like Basuma, someone like Boubacar Kamara. Boubacar Kamara would be my first choice on free, who can play as a CB, who can play as a midfielder. Declan Rice, for me, it has to be the English hype. It really does. I'm not taking anything away from him. I think he's a good player, but this hype is now out of control to the point where our fan base cheers him on a lot more than some of our own players. It's mad. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. I want Boubacar Kamara besides Shermani. Shermani is a good player. Shermani is a good player. Playing midfielder, defensively good as well. Has got the robust attribute, quick vision, the lot. Do you know what I mean? For me, Declan Rice seems at times basic. As I said, watch both the legs, Frankfurt versus West Ham. Just watch Sebastian Rode. Do you know what? I'm just going to quickly Google this. How old is Sebastian Rode? Like, seriously. Let's have a look at this. How old is his brother? He's 31. He's 31 years old. Yeah. That's mad. Is this why has he got a Dortmund picture? Is this the right one that I got? I hope I got this right one. Yeah, Sebastian Rode. Yeah. Got the right player. No, it's absolutely mad. Let's have a look at some of your comments now in regards to this particular matter. It's obvious Alex is being paid for Rice. Proper respect the hustle. Let's have a look. In Life No Limits, good to see you, my man. Miz, it depends on what he's instructed to do by David Moyes. This is how the fan base did not want Chilwell. Most wanted Teles or Ajax left back. But now look, we are not scouts. We don't know better. Look, okay, fair enough. Yeah, there was a bit of hype about Alex Teles. I'm not going to lie. I think similarly with Chilwell, the price was an issue. Obviously, when he came in, he's done well. So yeah, you could have a point there. I'm not saying you may not have a point. Maybe Tuchel could get him to do what he wants him to do, and maybe he'll start looking great. But I feel like, this is what I want to ask you in Life No Limits. Do you really think there's no one better out there? Do you think Declan Rice is the answer? Like, even with Chilwell, there are better left backs than Chilwell. Chilwell's a very good left back, don't get me wrong. But there are other left backs out there that are probably better or just as good as Chilwell. So, we just need to search. Even Atletico Madrid left wing back, Ronan Lodi. Lodi is a very good left wing back. Kostic is a very good wing back as well. Don't get me wrong. Frankfurt's Kostic is good. Lodi is very good. Cucurella is very good. So there are options out there. Valen, thank you so much for the super chat. Declan Rice's transfer reeks of Maguire treatment. Yeah, I mean, don't want to fall into a trap where we get robbed, honestly. Kamara is Atletico Madrid bound. I think that's going to be mad if we're not there from the get-go. Rice is the best midfielder in his position in world football. I mean, see, these are the comments. Rice is the best midfielder in his position in world football. What is his position, first of all? Because he plays at times box to box for West Ham, and then yesterday, obviously, I got to see that he played as a sitting midfielder. But at times, he plays as a box to box as well. If you look at SofaScore, you look at some of the stats, you look at some of his heat maps, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. If you've seen some of the matches he's played in the Premier League as well, he's not always the sitter. He's not always the sitter. So are you telling me as a box-to-box he's the best in the world? Are you telling me as a sitter he's the best in the world? I have to disagree, man. I have to disagree. I don't think he's the best in the world. I think he's good, but I don't think he's the best in the world. And I definitely don't think he's worth 100 million. It's insane. That's insane level of money. Rice is basic Henderson with more legs. He does the hard yards, yada, yada. Do you know what? At least with Henderson, there's a lot more verticality with his passing. I think he's improved over the years under Jurgen Klopp with his passing range. Henderson's passing range is not bad, and he always looks for vertical passes. He looks to split defense. Rice, I mean, I'm not saying as a sitter you need to always do that, but he doesn't really show me that passing intelligence all the time. There are the odd moments here and there, which is fine, but it's not like he's always thinking how to open up the defense. Maybe that's not his job all the time, which is fine, but you do require a little bit more from the sitter. Chilwell is Prem proven. Yep, no problems about that. But there have been players in world who have not had Prem who's not had Premier League experience, but has come in and done well. I mean, would you say Mark Cucurella, Waka Waka? Would you say Mark Cucurella, because he wasn't Prem proven, would you say he's a bad player? I think Mark Cucurella is a fantastic left-sided player. Rice is nothing near best anything. Broder's ex-Bayern and Dortmund. See, that's the thing. He knows possession-based football. If you played for Bayern, you know what you need to do with the ball, especially as a sitter, defensive midfielder. It's not just about just defending. You do need to defend with the ball. And that's the concept that we need to understand. Defending with possession, as opposed to always thinking without the ball. I think that's the issue with some of the fans. We don't tend to understand at times that defense can be with the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like without the ball, and this, I don't know whether this is an English stigma. They keep thinking it's those hard tackles, the slide tackles, the heavy sort of, barges, like the English sort of aggressiveness. There are other ways to play football. Matt Falcone is saying Tuchel wants Rice. Look, fine. I got no issues, but let me make one thing clear. Thomas Tuchel next season, if he gets his players, and I hope he does, is going to be judged more strictly. Because what we saw this season, not always the greatest. Yes, he has reached finals in most of the domestic cups. Well, in both of the domestic cups, which is fantastic. We've won the Club World Cup. We've won the Super Cup. Even the Club World Cup, we sort of stumbled our way to victory. We weren't the greatest. I was there in the Club World Cup. We weren't the greatest. Al Hilal should have beaten us, if I'm being absolutely honest. Palmeiras put up a good fight. Super Cup, Villarreal put up a very good fight against us. So, look, we've not always looked the greatest. And if Tuchel wants Rice, so be it. I'd be very interested to see how he utilizes Rice. Whether he gets the best out of him. I mean, at the end of the day, he would have had to approve Lukaku deal as well, let's be honest. It's not like we just bought Lukaku out of thin air. We would have ran past the plan to Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel approved it. So, and look at the Lukaku situation. I'm not really sure whether Thomas Tuchel actually understood what Lukaku brings to the team. I definitely think Lukaku wasn't the right type of player that we needed, but Thomas Tuchel's the one that sanctioned it as well, along with many other individuals that would have sanctioned that particular transfer. Rice is not worth 100 million, but he's worth much more than 100 million to West Ham, just like RJ is worth 500 million to us. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, for West Ham, he can be worth whatever he wants, but that doesn't mean we need to go out there and break the bank and make that happen. Velan, thank you so much for the super chat. Sangare PSV, Rosario Nice, Alvarez Ajax. Alvarez Ajax is actually very good. The other two brothers I'm not really watched enough. But Alvarez for Ajax, there's some big talks about him. But do you know what? No one's interested. Everyone's interested about Declan Rice. Tchouaméni for me is better as well, undoubtedly. Princeton, Miz, Kostic is a winger. I remember he played against us in semi-final alongside Jovic and Haller. This trio was deadly. I remember as well, my man. Kostic was dynamic back then as well, and we actually struggled against Frankfurt too. If I recall, it was both legs 1-1, and then it went to the penalties where Kepa did a madness. Frankfurt, they're not a stupid team. Yeah, they might not be doing that well in the Bundesliga, but that's because I suppose they just don't have the ingredient to see out a particular season. But when it comes to knockout competition, they're not bad one bit. They outplayed West Ham. They really did. They outplayed West Ham in all facets of the game. You're right, Miz. Once he gets his players, no more excuses. I want to see how we improve our philosophy as a team. I really don't know what he wants. Yeah, and this is why it's going to be very, very interesting in this summer exactly what goes down, because it's a very, very important that we have a very good summer. Exits and incomings as well. Very important in order to start this climb back up and in order to compete against Liverpool and City, who are miles ahead, who really are miles ahead. Okay, we're going to look at the final topic, and you guys are going to enjoy this one. This one, ladies and gentlemen, I swear to you, I don't know what this particular individual is thinking. We'll bring this up. And I want you guys to all have your opinion about it, because this is a clear indication for me that the UK media, it's not even a secret. It's open secret, isn't it? They hate Roman Abramovich. They hate Chelsea Football Club. They can't wait till Chelsea Football Club is taken away from Roman, and they would have loved it if it was Sir Jim Ratcliffe or a British owner. I don't know how they're going to take Todd Bowley, whether they're going to be nice to Todd Bowley or whether they're going to be after Todd Bowley. But let's check this out. Let's check this out. All right. I found this so strange. I really did. I'm actually quite baffled. So as you guys know, yesterday there was a statement released from Chelsea, right, where Roman Abramovich made a statement that he doesn't want his loan. So Chelsea made an official statement on behalf of Mr. Abramovich. Go check that out. I dropped a video yesterday. If you've missed that, check that video out as well, where I went through this particular situation. And the statement basically says, ladies and gentlemen, that Roman, it's all false. All of this stuff that the media has been saying in UK, all of this, Matt Law, the Telegraph, the Athletic, all of this stuff about that Roman wants his money back, his loan back, 1.6 billion back, is absolutely false and complete bollocks. And on top of that, he also categorically said the increase of the sale price to further 500 million to accommodate for transfer market fees and whatnot is also false as well. Categorically false. Now, off the back of this particular brother named Adam Crafton, who is a reporter for The Athletic, 60.3K followers, okay? The Athletic, we're not talking about some stupid publication. We're talking about a legitimate, well-esteemed publication like The Athletic. Adam Crafton is a reporter for them, stating, re-quoting this Chelsea tweet, why is a sanctioned individual being allowed to benefit from the hugely influential platform of Chelsea's digital offerings to aid his reputation? I just want to read this again so that you guys completely understand how pathetic this statement is from Adam Crafton. Why is a sanctioned individual being allowed to benefit from the hugely influential platform of Chelsea's digital offerings to aid his reputation? Is this guy having a laugh? Is this guy seriously having a laugh? I mean, why don't you just come out and tell us that you hate Roman Abramovich? You've absolutely hated the era of Roman Abramovich owning Chelsea Football Club. I mean, At the end of the day, Roman's still the owner. He's still the current owner. We've not had a new owner yet. What do you mean? How's Chelsea allowing their digital platform to enhance Rome? Chelsea's still owned by Roman. And why wouldn't he come out and defend himself when you guys, people like you guys, Adam Crafton in The Athletic, writing fibs about him? Why wouldn't he want to defend himself? You guys in The Athletic has come out and said that Roman Abramovich wants his money back. Chelsea could possibly be in administration. They could possibly get kicked out from the Premier League. Roman's a greedy man. So why isn't it right for him to come out in the public, use his club's public platform? He's still the owner, mind you. Why isn't it right for him to come out and express himself to say, these are all false? I mean, I'm baffled, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what mentality these individuals have. I seriously would love to sit with Adam Crafton one day and just go, and people like Adam Crafton, not just him. There are plenty of people like him out there. I just want to sit down with them and go and try and assess their brain. Like, what is actually going in your head? Why are you guys like that? It's mad. I want to see what you guys have to say about this. I just found this whole thing so pathetic. I'll just quickly share some of the comments because the comments were interesting. This is what I had to say, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure I had like some clap emojis, and I said, wow, Adam, your thought process is sensational. The Athletic needs to hire more people like you. And then I wrote, runs off to unsubscribe from The Athletic. Jam said, I'm sure the Athletic standards slipping lately, especially to do with Chelsea-related news, since the sanctions has got everything to do with you. I'm sure you're offended. He breathes the same air as you, as he has been sanctioned. I mean, it's mad. Lately, even Simon Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, has wrote some absolute BS in The Athletic about how some of the academy products in the club, in the likes of Reece James and Mason Mount and so on and so forth, they want to leave because of all of these sanctions, and it's all false. It's all fibs. Rob Draper saying, and announce how his team is busily planning the Abramovich Foundation. Sorry, I mean the entirely independent charity, which will have nothing to do with him. It's just mad. It's just mad. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Lol, you absolute muppet, get a life. Con wrote, so what you're basically saying is journalists can lie for article clicks. He might be sanctioned, but you can't just make stuff up. Like, this is bang on. Like, you can lie for article clicks, but he can't come out and defend himself. It's mad. This one I really like from Dan McCarthy. Probably because he still owns the club, Adam? No? Just a thought. Like, it's mad. It's absolutely mad, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see some of your comments now. Okay. Ms., we know English journalists and pundits are against Chelsea. It's a fact. It's 100%. It's a fact. There's no doubt about that. Surfs. Exclusive. Advisors to Roman Abramovich are discussing with Todd Bowley's group about anti-Glazer clause being set. What? Advisors to Roman Abramovich are discussing with Todd Bowley's group about anti-Glazer clauses being set. Okay, I need to check that out. What does that even mean? It's a sanction. You can't sanction one's words. That's a good one, Jensen. It's like, I've sanctioned you, and now I want to sanction you from even talking. You can't do that. Yeah. Shadow Rider 0550. Roman is the boss. He doesn't need permission to make statements. If he wants, he can ruin Chelsea and nobody can do anything about it. Exactly right. He owns it. Productions 8 asses there. Matamiz. Yeah, Princeton. The only journalists we can trust are Nizar Kinsella and Adam Newsom because they are one of us. Look, at least they're not so wild with some of their claims. You're right. PYS tweet. Let's check it out. Is there a tweet from PYS lately? Let's check this out. Check out PYS. "17 minutes ago." Okay, this is exclusive. Advisors to Roman Abramovich are discussing with Todd Bowley's group about anti-Glazer clauses being set, including agreeing a strict limit on the debt they could take on, paying dividends, and taking out management fees. Okay, it's great. It's great. This is great. You can't just be using Chelsea as a profit mechanism. Oh, look, at the end of the day, any businesses that come in, they'll use it as a profit. They would want to make a profit, but obviously you don't want to strip away everything in dividends and whatnot. And once again, I don't know how much I can trust this as a proper source. Like, who's to say this is true or not? Mark Kleinman, Sky. Like, Sky News City editor. What does he know? Does he know stuff? What does he know? Just making stuff up. Anti-Glazer clause. Really? Is there actually going to be an anti-Glazer? It all sounds great. I'm all up for it. But really? Now there's going to be an anti-Glazer clause? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I want to believe this, if I'm being absolutely honest. Barring new owners from paying dividends or management fees until 2032. Wow, barring new owners from paying dividends or management fees until 2032. Prohibiting the sale of any shares for 10 years. Agreeing to strict limits on level of debt that they could take on. Yeah. You really think Todd Bowley is going to sit there and go, you know what? Okay, you dictate these terms. Who are you to dictate these terms? You're selling the football club. You need to sell. You got sanctions on you. You need to sell. The UK government will not remove these sanctions. God knows for how long. And you want to dictate terms. As great as it looks for us as fans, just for a second, sit down and think, is this really what Roman's actually going to do? I find it mad. I don't think this is actually even... Sorry, I didn't bring up the pictures. But yeah, this is what it sort of said. So this was the initial tweet. Sorry. Advisors to Roman Abramovich are discussing with Todd Bowley's group about anti-Glazer clause being set, including agreeing a strict limit on debt they could take on, paying dividends. And this is the summary of it. This is what the anti-Glazer clause looks like. I don't completely buy this, if I'm being absolutely honest. Miz, there are a lot of rumors about defenders and DM. Are we going to sign any creative wingers at the moment? Rafinha is going to Barcelona and Anthony to United. Definitely will happen because of Ten Hag. Look, Osman Dembele. Like, if we can get Osman Dembele, I'm going to be very, very happy. Chelsea FC's new owners could be prevented from paying dividend for 10 years and bound by the strict limits on the club's indebtedness under a package of measure dubbed anti-Glazer clause. Yep, that's exactly what we just talked about. I don't think you can dictate all of these terms. Ms. Debt taking and dividends means... Krishna, well, wasn't it already confirmed that the Beheld group, you mean Bowley group, was the only group that wasn't buying off debt? That's why there were preferred bidders. Yeah, like it's completely cash. They're not debt financing to buy Chelsea. So, but some of these things, as you can see in the string, prohibiting the sale of any shares for 10 years, agreeing to strict limits on the level of debt that they could take on. I mean, they would know these anyway. Like, at the end of the day, Todd Bowley is backed by Clear Lake Capital. They're not going to be stupid to pump Chelsea Football Club with a lot of debt the way Roman has been running the football club. So they don't need to sign that. They know that they're not going to, put Chelsea even further mud. We've racked up 1.6 billion in debt with Roman. So yeah, some of these clause, some of these clauses in this anti-Glazer clause scenario is quite straightforward, and I don't think Todd Bowley would want to do this in any case anyway. As I said, I don't really trust any of these people, these journalists, to know anything, especially from Sky. Plubs, thank you so much for joining, my man. He's my cousin, my wife's cousin, but very, very close to me as well. He's in the chat. Good to see you. Ridwan, he can. We'll take a few more comments, ladies and gentlemen. Well over 100 of you guys are live right now. Let's smash the like button. Guys, we've got 63 likes. Let's get the likes up to 100 immediately. Let's push for 100 likes. It'll be very, very good to get 100 likes for the stream. We always aim for that. We'll definitely have another video or even a live stream later down the track for the press conference and the preview for the Wolves game. So let's get those likes up to 100. Only another 36 likes away. So let's do that. Krishna, but wouldn't this have been something that would have happened with the Rain Group selection process? Yeah, of course. They probably would have gone through all of that. No doubt about that. In Life No Limits, anyone talking about transfer targets spreading false news, we really won't know until the deal is finalized. At least 100% agree. Like, we don't know what the budget is going to be for the new owners. They could still go on with the current. I think there's some words that Marina and Bruce Buck and all the other infrastructure that is in place in terms of scouts, they'll all stay. And maybe Todd Bowley will come in and utilize them until he has his own structure ready. So maybe Marina and Bruce Buck could stick around for another 6 months until new faces come in. So any, I suppose, rumors that we had previously, like, for example, Jules Koundé, most likely will go through and will be signed. But anyone besides that, I'd have to wait till the new owners come in and make a decision on it, because right now some of these speculations are exactly that, speculations. Royston, Chalobah has had been called into a meeting with one of Thomas Tuchel's assistant. A few of the mistakes he'd made in recent games were highlighted. Simon Johnson, saw this. This is great. Apparently he took the feedback positively as well, which is great. And as a youngster, you should be taking feedback positively. Adamola Stephen, good to see you. 1.6 billion debt will be included in the total sale money. I also think this ban is good for Chelsea. It gives Roman leverage to cross T's and I's. Ridwan, we need to get rid of Lakaka, Jansen. As long as Buck and the whole scouting department are laid off, I'm fine. I don't think there will be initially, but hopefully eventually enough they will be. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this particular show. It's always been fantastic talking to you guys. The interactions have been brilliant. Only 30 more likes away from 100 likes. Let's get those likes up to 100 immediately. As I said, we'll be back with another live later today, or maybe just a video. So do look out for that. And the other thing that I want to say, and probably will be saying more in my latest video, there is another option. Look, I know we do a lot of live streams and we do heaps of videos as well. And you guys comment in the video sections later on, whether it's after the live stream, you comment in the comment section, and also in the videos in the comment section. There's plenty of you guys are always commenting, and it's very difficult to always get to every single comment. There is a new functionality there, which is much like a super chat. So if you want to use that, ladies and gentlemen, which is now available under my platform, it's called the super thanks, I think, or super sticker or something like that. Super thanks, you'll see it will pop up. And if you really want to interact and you want me to reply back to you on a regular basis, you can use that functionality. And basically, it works like a super chat. And I will make sure I check all of those comments regularly. As I said, in order to keep up with over 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 comments, it's always very, very difficult. So I'll try my best. But if you use super thanks, I will make sure, just like the super chats, it is always addressed and always been interacted to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Until next time, if you're here for the first time, subscribe, smash the like button. Take care, and see you guys very, very soon.